finally actually use this.
Should I? And then like...
Hello everyone! Welcome to the sort of reboot, half reboot, what would you call it?
A reboot.
Yeah, it's a new beginning for CockRodgers. We are still keeping the name. We've got a new pad, a new studio, new lighting techniques. Hopefully it's a lot better than those really bright central ones that we had before. And hopefully we'll just be upping the ante again and again and again. Almost like, Tyler, the film we watched tonight. Because the first one was kind of like Point Break with cars, and then it just slowly got better and better and better. And sort of culminating with 5 or 6, in my opinion. Right, so let's get straight into it. Tonight's film is Fast and the Furious 7, or Furious 7. Manchester United 6. Okay,
No.
it's like scores. Furious 7, Man United 6.
I don't know.
Okay, whatever. Starting with story. Could you explain the story in a nutshell without too many spoilers?
Well, I've only watched about 4 of them, so it did make a little sense to me. But there's a lot less flashbacks than in number 6. Because I did watch number 6, they're about one of the 4 I did watch. And this made a lot more sense.
I felt that this film was somewhat jumbled all over the place in terms of story. You didn't quite know what was going on, but it's very difficult to sort of docket points for that, because halfway through filming, the sort of almost main character, actor, dies, and, you know, you can't really,
Were you able to keep up with seeing all the previous films, or were you just as confused as I was?
No, I was less confused. Of course, because it's almost like this Avengers-esque sort of intertwining narrative between it goes from like 4 to 3 to 6 to 9 to whatever. I managed to keep track relatively easily because all the films are quite simple films. Just they're conjoined with like very flimsy glue.
I think maybe they should have started again.
Well, I'm hearing that that is what they're doing with the sort of Furious 8 or whatever, because they left Paul Walker's and his family's story arc untouchable. You can't really go back to it. So the only person left is going to be Vin Diesel, Ludacris, and I can't remember the other one's name.
Oh, I quite like them.
Yeah, and Michelle Rodriguez.
I was very disappointed not to see Dwayne Johnson in it that much.
Yeah, no, that is a point that also a lot of people have been talking about, was that The Rock gets a really great scene in the beginning. Just a sprinkling of rocks throughout the rest of the movie. That was quite a disappointment, I thought.
He comes in for the finale though. I don't know if I can say that. Too small.
Nah, well, you kind of see it coming. It's not really that big of a spoiler.
And that was really good, actually.
No, without wishing to spoil, the finale was good. I'd imagine I felt a much bigger sort of sense of well, it was stronger for me because it actually had a whole bunch of little things that arced back to the like first, second, and third ones, which were kind of big to me. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you'll know what it is if you've seen the first one. A lot of it almost feels like a fan film because it arcs back, really relying on the strengths of the previous films,
Which were very strong.
They were. Did it hold up well enough for you?
My expectations were pretty high, and you know, the Fast and Furious name. No, I would say this film was a bit of a disappointment. If they do have a number 7, you would think that the previous ones were really good, and they must be doing something right.
Well, the thing is, there are 4 Transformers movies.
I love Transformers.
I think only one of them is a good movie. The 2 was horrendous, 3 was even worse, and 4 was just abominable. We did actually film a review of that one, but I was just all of us were really low on spirits except for him, that we just couldn't power through it. It's kind of got a bit difficult to watch. Sorry, guys.
But back to this film.
Yeah. No, the way that it works these days is that if a movie makes money, it will have a sequel. Not if it's good, nothing like that. No, it is the fact that it's a big bloated action movie that, you know, tries to hit on the most broad points possible, as inoffensively as possible. With some a sprinkle of humour, a sprinkle of, you know, all these different things to try and, like, make a solid sandwich.
There is a new director, though.
Yeah,
we might be able to blame
James
him.
Wan, previously of
Conjuring, you said?
Conjuring or Insidious, or one of them. What was the movie that it had a spin-off of the doll, Annabelle?
Annabelle, that's The Conjuring.
Okay, yeah, it was The Conjuring then.
And I love The Conjuring, actually. I just think he should have stuck with horror, actually.
No, I can understand that, because also something that I found, especially with the staging of the action, was that it wasn't particularly shaky cam. It wasn't completely blinding, but there were way too many cuts. You couldn't really keep your eye on anything because it would just cut away a bit too much. Did you feel that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, no, the action was good when they held the camera properly. However, when they started getting like, Parkinson's, then
I think
started to
generally
suffer a little.
the action wasn't really that good. Okay, I mean, the finale was brilliant.
Also, let's address the elephant that is in this room, apparently. Paul Walker. Did you... Okay.
The blonde guy, yes.
He wasn't bald.
Wasn't he?
No, that's not him.
He was the blonde guy.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Okay, I heard somewhere that they had a CG Paul Walker. Didn't notice that at all, to be honest. I think they handled it the best way they could have possibly handled it.
I don't see it distracting anyone from the film.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you don't know. If you don't know, you're not going to realise.
Yeah. Just don't knock it for that reason, is what I'm saying. If you really look for it, you'll find it, but... Yeah, he was obviously there for the majority of the important scenes. CG, or, well, just imagery in general. What did you think?
I don't know if you also saw this, but for me the whole film looked a little dusty. I didn't like that. But...
I guess I was trying to go for an arid thing, but I didn't actually notice that, probably because I was looking at it like this, and the other corner was in a different time zone, so...
Yeah, it seemed a little dusty, but other than that, it was nice. Explosions were nice. The
explosions were good. There was one bit of CG that I didn't quite like, was when they're jumping from tower to tower. Some of it looked a little weird.
I think they could have done something with the glass.
Yeah.
Because the glass was kind of there, and then the car hit it and just...
By the way, that action scene was really great.
It was.
Because they didn't do too many fast cuts, and, you know, they let you digest it.
There was really big things, but the suspense just wasn't there. Maybe
it didn't build up very much.
Maybe that's why I got sort of bored of the action.
Also, for some reason, it sounds like we're really destroying the movie, right? By saying this, but...
It wasn't a bad movie.
It wasn't a bad movie, it just...
But when you're looking at 6, which I did watch...
Okay, 6 is great. 6 is a great movie, so is 5. Directed by Justin Lin.
I think the chemistry was actually pretty decent, but I have not watched any of the previous films, and if you don't watch any of the previous films, the chemistry is going to mean nothing to you in this film. It was good, but I really didn't care much about it.
Yeah. The Furious 7, or whatever the tagline is, it's honestly not really a movie that requires the previous film, but is massively enhanced by having the previous knowledge. It's kind of like the opposite of the Avengers, really. Like, you can watch Iron Man 3 on its own. You can watch Thor 2 on its own. You can watch... I'm sure you'll be able to watch Avengers Age of Ultron on its own, which we will be reviewing. Watch out for that. But then this one, you really can't watch 5 on its own. You could watch 2 or Tokyo Drift on their own, because they were completely separate movies.
Yeah, I've seen 2, and that worked around.
Yeah. But yeah, it almost feels like the Avengers are teaming up. Also, just side note, I don't want to spoil the ending, but it'll be, for you, when you go in, it'll be ending, or you'll think it will be, and then it'll keep going. You'll think, okay, this was a satisfying ending. It'll keep going, and I'm not sure how you found it, but if you don't care about the previous movies, the bonus 10 minutes after the final battle will be annoying to you.
That was horrible.
But if you have the previous knowledge and you care, that bonus 10 minutes enhanced the movie so much for me.
Yeah, there wasn't too much flashbacks in the film, but about 90% of it was at the end. I don't know if I can say that.
Yeah, it was. You don't care. I understand that. It was kind of a waste of time for you. I cared massively, and I actually felt myself welling up when they were doing all the flashbacks and stuff at the end.
I remember when we walked out of the film, you said that actually turned to be quite a sad film at the end.
Like, almost joking.
And I was just sitting there like, Lord, when will this end?
Yeah. Also, may I add that Jason Statham could never beat The Rock in a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way, okay? I thought it was very good, but if you strip off that single pretty thin layer, it falls apart pretty quick.
Yeah, I did catch myself yawning once in the movie as well.
Me too, and that never happens.
Exactly.
Apart from in Transformers 4.
It wasn't that much of a long movie.
It was a shorter movie than it feels.
What's an hour?
40 or something.
Hour 40, something like that.
I'm not. Okay, I'll do another thing here. It's not exactly an hour 40, but we timed it. When we got out, it was like approximately an hour 40 minutes later.
For me, it felt more two and a quarter,
Yeah.
2.5.
I wouldn't say that at all, but no, it definitely felt 2 for me. It felt like 2 on the dot. Which is still a remarkable thing. I always feel that the best movie is one that doesn't feel its length. And I think that it managed to keep up a fast enough pace. So it was just like, there, cool, we're going here, here, and here. It spent just enough time in each place so that you felt like you were there, but it went to the next place fast enough to feel like you weren't getting bored from the place.
It's still a long movie. Mostly an action movie like this, when you walk out of the theaters, you mainly feel like it's morning. You're ready to go and do some stuff.
It was a very somber ending.
When I walked out, I felt kind of tired. I mean, when I watched Transformers, I finished 2 in the morning actually. We had to catch a taxi home, and it felt like it was morning. I was ready to go out.
It had good action whenever they held the camera down. It's one of those movies that the sum of the whole is better than the sum of its parts. If you stripped each thing out and made a movie out of these individual sort of building blocks, it would be just a pile of crap. But since it's like making a really beautiful statue out of some really bad material, is the best way I could put it.
The only thing that really stood out for me is probably the party scene. I really did like that.
Party scene.
The party scene. Big building.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. A lot of it was really funny, but a lot of the times it felt like they were trying a little too hard. And with some lines when they said that, it was pretty lame. I was thinking, did they actually just say that? I'm not talking about the party scene now, speaking in general. Well, I'm hating on the film again.
Yeah, no.
But the party scene was
It's
really
a pretty
good.
easy movie to hate on. It's a pretty easy movie to love on.
I'd have also liked to see a lot more cars.
I had it just up to here with the cars. I think it was quite a good balance.
If you watch it just for the cars, you car lover, I say you're gonna waste your time.
It's no Fast and the Furious one, because that movie just had millions of cars.
There was a Bugatti Veyron.
There was, but they didn't use it.
I know. I heard when I was walking into the film that there's a Bugatti Veyron. I was really happy to see, but on the film we saw it for about 30 seconds.
It didn't even move, I don't think.
They sort of parked it, and that was it.
Yeah, I guess if you're a car enthusiast, that's not really
I see. I'm not, but I was really excited to see it. Still.
Well, you're like a blooming car enthusiast.
I suppose that's a good word for it.
Yeah, we're getting into Top Gear from his.
Ever since the incident, we're trying to.
I'm sorry. Fast and Furious is the best place to bring this up. Recently, there's been a bit of a kerfuffle, if I do say so the least.
It's a good word.
Yes, a kerfuffle with Jeremy Clarkson, longtime presenter of Top Gear. I don't need to explain the situation to you. That'll just take up too much time. Just go look it up. There's millions of videos on YouTube
He hit
already.
someone.
Yeah, whatever. I have no standing on that whatsoever. All I have to say is that Top Gear has been my favourite piece of entertainment ever. I found it out back in 2007 when I was how old was I? It was grade 3, and I just kept watching it. Back in my height of it, I'd literally watch only episodes of Top Gear on TV. That was it, because that was when we just got PVR, and I'd just record the entire season, and I'd watch the entire season
And that
over
stuff was amazing.
a weekend. Actually, a day sometimes, because I had no homework back in grade 2 and stuff.
I'm in matric now.
That was so fun. I'm in grade 11. Oh, there's no more time. It's a massive loss for me, personally, and for television in general. I think the trio's voice needed to be heard in a time of this very PC, and it stood strong as being the voice of almost deal with your own problems. You'll find that out when you watch it. The lack of this Top Gear gone on for 21 and a half seasons, which is absolutely insane. There has been news that Jeremy Clarkson has been signed back onto the live shows, but it still won't be the same. Hopefully, I do hear that the trio do like doing the live shows in South Africa. Like, this is their favourite place to do the live shows, because they go all around the place.
That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing if they came here. Like specifically, because they always go back and forth between Joburg and Durban. They've only come here once, and that's really pissed me off. I did go back in 2009.
That was big news, eh?
That was big news.
All over the streets.
Ooh, Top Gear Live, Top Gear Live, Top Gear Live, World Tour. I still have the T-shirt.
But no one ever comes here, so...
No one ever comes here. Foo Fighters did, and that wasn't bad.
Yeah, I missed it.
So, just a message to Jeremy himself. Thank you for the years of service. Greatly appreciated. Hope you get back on your feet as quickly as possible. Because you make me laugh. Thanks a lot. So, closing thoughts on the film. We'll just wrap up real quick. I thought it was a film that the whole was far better than the sum of its parts. If you took each one out, it would fall down, but it's just made in just a perfect way. It's so well refined, it's very well put together, that it gets a decent enough score. I'd say I'd give it a 6.5.
Okay, that's decent. A decent film that didn't really stand up to its name, and because I'm not judging it as a series, and I'm just doing the one film, I'm going to give it a 5 out of Godzilla.
5 out of Godzilla, that's average for you, isn't it?
Very average.
Now, ultimately, it's a fun movie, it's a decent way to kick off the 2015 summer movie season. So everyone, thank you dearly for watching. We hope to get this to you faster, better, more efficiently.
Yeah. We'll see how long the editing takes.
We'll see how long the editing takes.
Not my job.
Yes, it's always been my job. But thank you guys for watching so much. Hopefully this will be a better year than ever. Not that we have much competition. We've only been doing this for a year, and then I was just vlogging for a year before that.
And then we stopped, and now here we are again.
Yeah, because Transformers came out and sapped all of our energy, except yours. Expect many more videos. We're not going to hit weekly, no chance, because movies don't come out weekly. Or at least big ones, at least.
Unless we cover all the ones.
Unless we cover all the ones, that is an idea. We've been working on a Rocky series review for like years now.
I think we might just go back to our roots. I mean, not too many big movies are coming out besides what's it? Superheroes.
There are
Marvel one.
Okay, now, this is going to be the best year in movies. I'm going to call it right now. It's going to be the best year for every kind of movie. Guaranteed. This year. Because, okay, just off the top of my head, let's start with the trailers we saw in Fast and the Furious. Mad Max. Did you like that trailer? It was a long trailer.
The trailer was definitely long enough. Yeah, we know. I'm definitely watching that.
Oh, I'm so watching that. It's coming out relatively soon, I think. Age of Ultron.
Yes.
That is...
Avengers.
Yes, Avengers Age of Ultron. That is definitely. We're actually getting it before America does, so hopefully, if we get the... if it's going to be Yumi and Lane on that one. Mission Impossible 5. That I'm more excited about than you are.
I haven't seen any of the previous ones.
We'll have another situation like this. Creed.
Yes, the new Rocky movie. You're gonna have to catch up on some Rocky.
I will have to catch up on.
See that.
I'm not sure it's this year or next year, but it's coming out within this year or next year.
What was Batman, Superman?
Oh yeah, Batman v Superman next year.
Damn.
There's also.
I can't think of anything else.
I can, but I'm leaving the big one till the end because it comes out last.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What?
We're not gonna even mention it.
No, we're not gonna mention it. You know what it is.
Okay.
I'll just play a bit from the trailer.
The dark side.
Okay, I thought that should do.
What else is there? How am I not thinking of what else is coming out this year? Oh yeah, Al Hajit, Great Doctor of the South. I hope you're watching this. If you're not, I will go and give everyone your Steam group and they will go and shout at you for being racist or something.
Does it sound like
It's the on Steam. His
we don't put that in.
name's Aiden. So thanks guys for watching. Hope you catch us in 2 weeks' time. Roughly for this movie we'll be reviewing. That one there. Thank you guys. You want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
The waving's a little weird.
It is, but
Can you think of anything else?
I bet we'll just leave this in.
Like the whole thing?
Stopping. No.
Mm.